Hi friends, come along on this super fun trip to London. This was actually a girls trip and let me tell you, we had an absolute blast. One of the first things we wanted to get into in London was the food scene. We did some research and Dishoom actually popped up as one of the must-visit restaurants in London. The food here is insanely tasty and trust me, it's definitely popular for a reason. It was so good that we went back twice during the trip. Yes, twice. That's how much we enjoyed it. Our days were a mix of semi-planned adventures and spontaneous fun. One of the first big stops on our trip was actually the Tate Modern. By the way, this is my friend Kim. She is awesome. And this museum is housed in a former power station. It's definitely one of those museums that's filled with contemporary art, with works from different artists. So if you're an art lover, or even if you're not, I would definitely recommend checking this place out and setting aside at least 2 to 3 hours to be here because it is massive. Another spot I highly recommend, and this was one of our spontaneous decisions, was the Shakespeare Globe Theater. This is a beautiful reconstruction of the original Globe, which is where Shakespeare's plays were performed back in the day. We decided to take a tour and our guide was so informative and we learned so many interesting facts. By the way, I would recommend that you also set aside about 2 to 3 hours for this experience because we spent time online and then during the actual tour, I believe it was about 45 minutes to 1 hour. And then you want to check out the museum inside. So definitely plan this one out in advance or feel free to just pop on in. But make sure to look at the schedule because the tours do run based on a specific schedule. Later that same day, we actually wandered over to the London Eye and we didn't get on because it was pretty busy and we did want to enjoy the rest of the evening while there was still light out, but it was super close to see it up front, up close, and the views of Big Ben and the overall cityscape were so stunning. It is pretty busy, so if you want to go when there are fewer crowds, go in the morning, but we came here when it was closer to the evening. On the next day, we actually hopped on the train to Notting Hill and I was so excited. We actually started our day at this spot called Egg Break and it's more of a breakfast and brunch restaurant. Kim had these Turkish eggs and I had the hot honey French toast. It was phenomenal. Overall, this whole neighborhood is definitely a vibe. It has a lot of colorful houses, flea markets, and vintage shops. And we definitely popped into some of the shops because, of course, why not? There were a lot of really cool finds for sure. Afterward, we hopped on another train to Neal's yard, and this is somewhat of a hidden gem. It's a courtyard that has these vibrant colors, quirky shops, and different eateries, so it's a really great place for you to go and sit and people watch or even have some afternoon tea or coffee. One thing that I absolutely loved about London is how you can stumble upon different things just by wandering around. Like we randomly came across a West End chorus singing and we were just like, wow, this is amazing. They were so good and it was just a really cool experience. Like you just never know what you might come across. And that's a part of the fun. And you know, I cannot resist a hop on, hop off tour, essentially one of the buses where you can get on and off at different stops. It is a super touristy activity, but honestly, it is a great way to see the city, especially when you're pressed for time, or if you just want to relax and take in the sights. We saw everything from the iconic London Eye to the London Bridge, and we got a real feel for the city's architecture. And by the way, we did get off at Buckingham Palace, and this was great. It was busy, but we took some photos here. We were able to walk around and the grounds are absolutely beautiful. And while we were there, we got a spontaneous yet again, we came to a spontaneous decision to grab tickets for Les Mis, and I was really excited. My friend Kim is, a big fan of theater, and I was totally down for it. But first, we had to refuel, so we took a taxi to a restaurant. The food was very, very good, and the staff is really friendly, so definitely add the spot to your list. And just a perfect way to wrap up our London adventure. Thanks so much for coming along on this journey with us. I hope that you enjoyed the trip as much as we did. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel adventures. See you in the next one. Bye.